friends, how's it going? It's me, Betty Jean. Today's video is gonna be hopefully the start of something new. I mean, I guess that's kind of dependent on you and if you want me to continue it, but I wanted to start breaking down various brands in my collection that I've been trying and using for however long and narrowing down my absolute top favorite thing from each brand, like whether it be a palette, a foundation, a liquid lipstick, like anything, just whatever my #1 favorite product is from each brand, that's what I want to discuss. So starting with these 10, I asked on my Instagram story for your opinion on which brands I should start with this series, and I basically just took the top 10 most requested, and that's where this video is. So let me know if you end up liking this. Let me know what brands you want me to discuss in the future. Obviously, if I've never tried them before, they won't be in this series. And if I've only ever tried one thing from a particular brand, it also probably won't be in this series because that's the obvious answer. But pretty much anything else is fair game. I am hoping you enjoy this. I hope this can be something we can do over the course of the next, I don't know how many videos. We'll see how many we can get through. But yeah, I'm just excited. This was actually kind of challenging for me with some of these brands. Like some were easy, like I know exactly what my #1 favorite thing is. Some were like, well, I love this, but I also love this, and I also love that. So picking just one top favorite was actually so difficult. So I did my best, and obviously this is not to say that I don't like other products from these brands. This is just my #1. Tried and true, love it forever, super excited about it. And obviously I'd love to hear your favorites too. Out of all these brands that I discussed today, I would love to hear what your top favorite products are. Do we have any similar favorites? Do you love something completely different than what I talked about? I would love to know. Before we get into the video itself, I did of course film this look. It should already be on my channel by the time this video goes up. It's from a recent full face of old makeup, Get Ready With Me. And as far as my accessories go, I just have this old choker. It's I believe from Shop Sun & Co. So yeah, without further ado, let's just hop in and chat about these 10 brands and my absolute favorite products from all of them. I'm just gonna go in alphabetical order of these specific products. And yeah, let's just dive in. The first brand I'm talking about in this video is Beaute Bar. This was requested many times and I love so much of their stuff. I actually haven't even done a full palette ranking from that brand yet, just because putting something in the bottom physically pains me and I'm just not ready to do it yet. I'm sure I'll do it at some point, but at this moment in time, I just cannot bring myself to do a palette ranking because I don't want any of them in the bottom. I love their shimmer eyeshadow primer. I think it is so good. I love their blushes. They just have such beautiful products, but this was an absolute no-brainer for me. My #1 favorite product from the brand is the Basic Witch palette. It is just too good. It's like one of my top favorite palettes in my entire collection. It is just absolutely everything. Look at these colors. Like, are you kidding me? It's vibrant and grungy and spooky and all the yummy Halloween things. And the formulas that are in here are just like insane. Let's just do like a couple little fun, like swatches. Like, look at these shimmers. Are you absolutely kidding me? With the shifts, they're so good. I adore this brand. They have grown so much and gotten so unbelievably good. Like, are you serious? They're so smooth and shiny and beautiful. And I just love them. I want to bathe in these shadows. And I mean, not even just the shimmers, the mattes too. Like, they're all just so rich. Oh, they're just so pretty. This is just gonna be a fun little swatch party kind of a video where I just rave about my favorite things. But just look how pretty. Delicious, pigmented, rich, amazing. I'm so excited for any Halloween launches they have up their sleeve because they absolutely killed it last year. I love this palette. I love the recently de-influenced. I love my Strange and Unusual, but I do need the updated one because I have the palette from when their mattes weren't as good as they are now, which I still liked it back then, but they have improved drastically. So at some point I would like to gift myself the updated version of the Strange and Unusual because it is an ultimate Beetlejuice palette. They are just so good. One of my top favorite brands. And of course, I will have all of these brands linked down below for you, as well as any discount codes if I have any. Moving on now to Blend Bunny. This was an also very highly requested brand. And again, I have so many favorites. They're lip pencils that they don't have anymore. They do have the newest one in collaboration with Donnie Darkowitz, but they're original lip pencils I use all the time. Their lip oils stay in my makeup bag, especially if I'm on like a vacation or at a theme park. I'm constantly reapplying. Their liquid lipsticks are so unbelievably just comfy and so beautiful. Their highlighter palette almost actually made my #1 favorite, which is getting discontinued. If it's still available and you want it, you should snag it now, because Noctilucent will not be here forever. Unfortunately, it breaks my heart. The new Cheek Glaze in collaboration with Ellis Atlantis is to die for. I would love to see a million more shades of those. Their blush palettes are insane. I just love the brand. Obviously their eyeshadows, that's a no-brainer. And again, it was really hard for me to pick an absolute #1 favorite from this brand because I just love so many things, and the highlighter palette almost made it, but I ultimately decided my #1 favorite thing is the Lure palette. It is my favorite palette from them, and I treasure this. I treasure it so much. I love how specific of a color story it is, and I love the colors, and I figured worst case scenario, this shade could also like be a face highlighter if I used a really light hand. Like, let's just swatch some of these beautiful shimmers. Oh, they're so good. We'll just add it on to my current, like that's that multi-chrome. Such a cool shifty color. So many pretty things happening. Oh, these shimmers are just so good. And I'm just such a sucker for this color story. I love the depth, the pastels, the specific colors. Like their mattes are so unbelievably buttery. Oh, they're magnificent. Their shadows truly are some of the best out there, and I just love, they're so rich and so pigmented and so beautiful, and this is a palette from them, and just in general, that would be really hard to live without. I adore it. All right, the makeup wipe is out. I thought I'd be able to get away longer before I busted the makeup wipe out, but we're just having a fun little chit chat, you know, we're having a little makeup playtime. Next up is Colourpop. I had a strong feeling Colourpop would make it in this first video. It just seems like a very large brand that has a lot of products that I've tried out so many of that you would want to know my absolute favorite. And honestly, my pick ended up being a pick that has been a top favorite in my collection for years and years and years. I believe I'm on my second one, maybe even my third if I'm not mistaken. It's just a tried and true cult classic, and they have so many good products. Like their palettes are cute and the quality is pretty good. I mean, some are better than others, but for the most part, their quality is pretty good. I love their new cheek balms. I'm obsessed. Their original blush sticks I've loved for a long time. I really enjoy their plumping lip products. There's just so many good things, but the #1 that ended up making the list for me is my Flexitarian Super Shock Highlighter. It's just that girl. It's so good. It's so just blinding and bright and amazing. I've loved this for years and years. It's just so shiny, such a classic. Like if you just need a beaming but smooth, wet looking highlighter, this is the one. It's been a favorite in my collection since the beginning of time, and I feel like it still rightfully deserves that spot. Like out of all the other things I've tried, like I love their skin tint and their concealer. Like I love so many things from Colourpop, but this takes the cake. I just had to give this one the #1 spot. e.l.f. Cosmetics. This is another one that I was like, I have a strong feeling people are gonna ask for this one. And this one was tough. I feel like especially lately, I've really tried so many amazing things from e.l.f. Like their Halo Glow Loose Setting Powder. I love their Halo Glow Contour Wand. Basically the Halo Glow line in general. And I almost was like, can I just say the Halo Glow line? Just overarching. I love their new Soft Glam Foundation. I love the hydrating CC cream. I love the hydrating camo concealer. I recently repurchased that. It'd been a few years since I tried it and I forgot how good it was. But ultimately, when I was looking through my collection, I was like, oh, this is the favorite. It's the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. It's just so good. This is my second one actually. Mine's in the shade Fair 0.5. It's just beautiful. It's so nice to wear on like no makeup days if you want your skin to just have a little bit of something. You could potentially use this as like a subtle highlighter if you really wanted to. You could wear it as a primer before foundation, which is what I do a lot of the time. It's just beautiful. It gives you just the prettiest glow. It looks just so vibrant and lively. If you don't like a glowy base, you probably wouldn't love this, but if you're anything like me, this is just so good. It sinks into the skin so beautifully. It wears so well. This is my favorite product from e.l.f. It's just so good. It doesn't get better than this. Fantasy Cosmetica. This one was requested a lot. Not that I was like surprised, but just out of all the brands that I have, you guys seemed really interested knowing what my top favorite was from Fantasy Cosmetica. And I was also surprised because I think it is so super obvious, to me at least, what my #1 favorite product is. And again, they have so many good things. I love their highlighter palette they came out with, like the trio. Their singles are super, super pretty. Their lip oils are really comfy. Their palettes are just all so amazing. But the one that takes the cake is the Druid palette. I actually have a newer one. I got it at the Creators and Friends trip in New Orleans back in April. So this one's very unused as of right now, but I have the newer packaging, so that makes me happy. But this is just so good. This was their first product ever, and it's still the star of the show for me. The shimmers are just out of this world. The mattes are so creamy. Oh, such a good color story. It is grungy forest energy, and I just absolutely love it. They are so pigmented and beautiful and just enchanting. I've loved everything they've released. All of their palettes are so amazing, but this one, it just steals the show. It holds such a special place in my heart. It's gonna be so hard for this palette to ever get beat. This one's just incredible. I cannot get enough. The formulas are amazing, and they had just started out with such a bang, and they have not let me down since. I'm such a huge fan. Next up, Likely Makeup. I was actually so excited that you wanted to see this one sooner because I have, again, so many favorites from the brand, and especially because the brand has been so much more active lately. Like, they came out with lashes forever ago, and over time they've launched more and more styles of lashes. And then forever ago, they also launched their 2 blush palettes, which I hold very near and dear to my heart. Still holding out hope for a new one day. Like, I'd love to see more themes because they're just so freaking cute. But recently they've come out with so many more things. Like, they have liquid lipsticks now. We have cream blushes. I am just so over the moon that they're like back. I believe they also have like a mascara, but I haven't tried that yet. But I think as far as just overall product goes, their liquid lips have made me so happy. I think they are such a beautiful, comfy formula. You can kind of pat them out and get a very blotted look, but you can also wear them very opaque, like traditional liquid lip. And I feel like they don't dry your lips out like the Sahara Desert, like old school matte liquid lipsticks. It's more of like a comfy liquid lip where it's not gonna slide around, but it's just a little more comfy. And I went with my favorite shade, which is Antique Shop. This brown is just so good. I just love this. I've reached for it so many times. I've reached for all the liquid lipsticks so many times, and this one is just no different. Such a pretty color, so comfy. I love the doe foot. It is just such a top tier product. I have all the colors. They're all so, so pretty. I love just pairing them together. I love pairing them with different lip pencils. This is just such a good product. I'm just so happy that they've been so back and so active. It makes me so filled with joy. Oh, they also have an eyeshadow palette they launched forever ago. I don't think it exists anymore, the Ugly palette. That was a fun time. I'm just so happy they're back and like better than ever. Lunar Beauty. This was a tough one. I gotta be so honest. And I'm still not positive with my answer. Oh, it's really tough, guys. So like, their palettes are amazing. I love the palettes that I have. Both of the Moonspell palettes are so aesthetically my speed. I love the Moonshroom. That's like a recent favorite from them that I picked up. I'm loving their liquid blushes like so much. I love their blush palettes. I love their glosses, their liquid lipsticks. They have so many good things, and oh, I'm still trying to decide what my #1 favorite is, to be honest with you. I guess I have no choice but to give you my top 2, and then maybe as I talk about them, I will come up with a firm answer. But one being the liquid blushes. They're just so beautiful. I love the fat doe foot. The formula is so creamy. This one's in the shade Bloom Bella. It's my favorite of the liquid blushes. I have 3 of them. I eventually want to pick up the other ones, but it's just so good. They are so blendable and pigmented and just so beautiful. I love them. But I also have such a deep-rooted love for the Hallows Eve liquid lipstick. I don't know if this still exists. I have to hope it does because it's incredible. Again, such a good doe foot shape. I love that angle. And this color, like, are you kidding? This pumpkin-y bright orange. You know, I think I have to give it to this one. I think this is my #1 favorite. The amount of times I've reached for this liquid lipstick, like when I need the perfect, like, pumpkin-y, fall, Halloween-y orange, it is always this one. This is the ultimate, like, pumpkin-y lipstick. It is so pretty, so comfy. Again, it's not gonna suck the life out of your lips. It stays a little bit more comfy, but it still doesn't slide around all over the place. I can wear this for such a long period of time and know it's gonna stay looking good. I have to give it to this. And it's funny because, like, I haven't tried that many, like, full-on liquid lipsticks from the brand. I've tried more glosses than liquid lips. I think I've only tried 2 of their liquid lips. So it's hard for me to even say, like, overarching their liquid lipsticks are my favorite. It's just this shade. I've used it so many times. It's hard to not pick this shade, you know? It's just so good. I've worn this more times than I can possibly count. Oh, Odins Eye. I had a feeling this would be top requested. This was another really difficult one because they've come out with some really great stuff over the years. Like, obviously I have my own collab palette with them, which is by default a favorite, but for the purposes of this video, I'm not gonna say my collab palette because that would be, I don't know, that's too easy. They have so many other palettes that I'm obsessed with. Like, their Christmas Eve palette is so good. They just have so many good palettes. I could talk about their palettes literally all day long. I still haven't done a ranking for them yet either, just because, again, I don't really want to put anything in the bottom. It's really tough. So eventually I will do an Odins Eye palette ranking. Just not right now. But I love their blushes. I love their highlighters. They've done highlighter palettes in the past that don't exist anymore. And I still love the Alva 2 with my whole heart. I love their eye pencils. I use them all the time. I love just so many of their products, but I think aside from my personal collab palette, I have to give it to the Moon Tears highlighter. This is one of their more recent highlighters that they added, I believe. And it's just so good. Lavender Dream was my favorite highlighter until this one came out. It's just so wet looking and sparkly. It's down there at the bottom of my wrist. It is so pretty. It's literally the skin of a killer Bella. It's so good. It's definitely a more glittery highlight, but it's not chunky. It's like smooth glittery. And it's just like the color, are you kidding me? This like, oh, this just like almost taupey, silvery, pale lavender. It's just so good. So, so good. So this one, I don't know, it just brings me so much joy. And I think aside from just my obvious collab, this little guy is my favorite thing. It's just so pretty. Their highlighters are just exactly what I love in a highlighter. I love sparkle. I love glimmer. I love flashes of color. And this is a good one, a very good one. Rare Beauty. This was another tough one. These were all tough, not gonna lie. But Rare Beauty has so many favorites. Again, I love their skin tint. I adore their liquid liner. I really love their lipsticks and their lip pencils. I use all the freaking time. Their luminous powder blushes, I almost picked. I was this close to picking it. Their melting blushes are so good. Again, they just have such a wide variety of so many awesome things. But ultimately, their liquid blushes, I just can't not pick the liquid blushes. And it was also very hard for me to narrow it down to just one shade, but I'm giving it to my most recent favorites. I really change out my favorites of these shades all the time. Like, I'm wearing all of them constantly. But Resilience is their newest one. It came in the Mabel Mora Only Murders in the Building, like little collab duo set. And this shade just makes me very happy. Again, amazing doe foot. Love to see it. But yeah. It's just such a cute color, this like rosy, warm terracotta. I'm very much into fall toned blushes right now, so I'm sure that the season is influencing this color, but I mean, let's be real. I love fall and spooky season year round, so this is gonna be forever a favorite. And even though, again, I switch out shade favorites all the time, and Courage was almost my pick, the liquid blushes are just so good. They have some that are more of a matte finish, some that are more of a dewy. I do prefer the dewy, but the matte ones are fine. I usually mix them with a liquid highlighter. Their liquid highlighter actually, Enlighten, that was also almost my pick because I've been using it almost every single day. But it's just such a good color, such a good formula. They never let me down. There's such a good variety of shades, and I just love this product. I love the packaging. I love everything about it. And finally, last but not least, Unearthly Cosmetics. This was another one that I'm like, man, there's been a lot of really good products. Like, I use their lip pencils all the time. Their loose eyeshadows are so pretty. Their liners have been so fun to play with. I love so many of their palettes. They have really fun, funky highlighters, and I've tried really cute blushes from them. Their liquid lipsticks and their glosses are so pretty, but again, I ended up giving it to my favorite palette, which is the Sorceress Smoke. I don't know what it is about this palette, but it just spoke to my soul when it came out last year. I just love these colors. It's so murky. The formula is better than ever since they started doing more of this style of palette. The shimmers are so smooth but twinkly, and the mattes are so pigmented and buttery and blendable, and I just love them. Like, let's just do a little swatcheroo. Do a couple of the mattes as well. Let's do like the green and the orange. Like, are you kidding me? They're so pretty. I'm also like out of room. I guess we'll do like the side of my hand here. Oh, this has been so fun, just doing this little chit chat, like swatch party, talking about my favorites. So many beautiful twinkles. I love the pigmentation, love this whole theme. This is just such a standout product. And again, they've come out with countless really amazing things, but this palette, that holds a special place in my soul. I love it. Well, this was a fun little chit chat. It brings me so much joy to talk about my absolute favorite things, and I hope you found joy out of this as well. Do we share any of the same favorites? Are you interested in any of these? Do you already own any of these? And again, if you own any of these brands, please list your favorite products from them. Not only for me, but for all of you as well, so you can get recommendations from each other. And I tried my best to shout out just like other things I love from all these various brands, but these are my favorite products from 10 brands. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun. Again, let me know if you want me to continue this series. Let me know what brands you want me to talk about next time, and I would love to do so. If you made it to the end of this video, why don't you leave your top 10 favorite emojis, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Helps my channel out a lot, and if you're not already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm BATTYBEAN there as well. Also, if you wanna, you can subscribe. I'm posting most days over here, and also you can join my channel memberships. The link to sign up will be down below. You'll get fun little perks, including a members only video once a month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.